How y'all doing out there? I'm just coming here through with another video on top of the morning, and for those of you who are celebrating or trying to, because it's like these Christians, I mean, they're losing their Christianity ass minds. They want to celebrate this heathen paganistic holiday so bad. It's driving, excuse me, it's driving them insane. They want to celebrate. It's driving them insane that they can't get to their paganistic holiday, and all these black folks, and all these Hispanic folks, all these Jehovah Witness folks. I mean, like all these different denominations. It's killing them right now. But anyhow, I'm here back today with another video, proving my point, like always. And for they know what they do. It's not all about forgive them for they know not. No, they know very well what they do, and I'm here to prove it. That they police black folks. So there's this new group. It was supposed to be for black folks, and everywhere black folks are, white folks want to be just to police them, just to convince them. But they see in this group that it's not happening. They're pretty much learning. I hope so. They're learning that these people are in the know. People that folks are finding their identity. You know, etc. etc. So let's go ahead and take a look at the guilt in their throat. For they know very well what they do. They know all along what they was doing, how these demons was profiting, and now they cry out for the help. Now they want to unite. Now they want to unite. When life was regular on a regular day, they didn't give a shit about the hood, the ghetto. Now everybody wants to be claiming they was in the ghetto, they lived a rough life, because that's how they stereotype us. And I want you guys to understand that this is what they do. So now they want us to come together. Look, their cry is, let's come together. Because at first they just didn't want to stop believing in their bullshit. They had this Q movement going on. There's a lot of them that's still prideful. They gonna hold on to something because they so in denial. They so racist. It's not even funny. So without further ado, let me go ahead and let this man talk a little bit so we're gonna elaborate around his speech from hell, if you will. No shade. I'm just calling shit how I see it. And y'all know how I get down for my crown. You know what I'm saying? I call shit the way I see it. I don't care if I got 1 view, 2 views, 3 views. Eventually, you know what I'm saying? These videos will unleash. These videos will begin to unleash because I know what I'm doing. I'm keeping my shit. My channel is limited. You know what I'm saying? It's a divine appointment. But when people start waking up and they stumble over a channel like this one, they're going to be like, damn, why didn't I never? And it wasn't your time. Everyone who comes to this channel is going to be your time. In the meantime, those who are awakened and those who are, I I have to say this, I have to say this. Even if you're a Caucasian person, in order to watch me, you have to be awake. In order to listen to me, you are awake. And you have come to a conclusion that you know where you stand. You know who you are. But you love the Most High so much, you decide to claim your stranger identity. Period. And that's what happened, because there's a difference between a stranger and a heathen and a beast of the field and a paganistic and a Christianity. Like that, the Christianity shit is over. That's what brought everybody together. But what black people didn't understand, that this religion had you enslaved. It allowed you to serve your white master, called white Jesus, the graven image that they hung upon a cross and said that he died for your sins. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, get the fuck out. Period. And for those, blessed are those strangers that cleave to the house of Israel. You know what's good for yourself. You are so striving survivor. Most of these heathen pagans, beasts of the field, their pride won't let them reach this level. Period. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna listen to the heathens cry, and how they stereotype us, and how they know all about us, but they never gave a flying fuck before. Once upon a time, the minute and the second everything stopped, now they want black people to rise up and catch wreck and be everything, because that's what they look at us as violent. Even though we do have the bond to, we have that gene, we have that power in us. Like, we're just, it's being implemented as they implement their shit. And the more frequency and nuclear they implement, that's, trust me, that 5G, whatever they doing, it's creating nuclear. It's creating to trigger a Bantu nuclear. And let me tell you something. X genes will be turned on. XY genes will be turned the fuck on. It's a matter of seconds, a matter of time. The closer they get, that's the closer they get to what they got coming. And I'm going to tell you this shit right now, because I am a star, and I'm going to continue to preach in spirit and in truth. And yes, I use this to foul language, but you know what? Let me tell you how they feel about us. Without further ado, they know very well. They police us. They follow us. They want us to be their friends. They want us. Now they want to be friends. Before, they wanted us to worship them, bow down to their feet. They was the shit. But now they want to try to understand our lives in the hood. Check this fucking shit out.
Okay, there's two. So it does look like maybe they are going to allow me to go live on here. That would be a good thing, because they don't do it very often on any other pages, because I do run my mouth. And I woke up like this. So it's saying there's 6 people in here, but it's not popping up like anyone's really in here. So.
And I woke up like this. Peep the game. Peep the bullshit.
I don't know. You know how the censorship is on all of these websites, especially the ways that the people that control these things, they don't want us being able to discuss certain things with each other.
Yes, white people were out of pocket, especially them Trump motherfuckers, especially them motherfucking Democrat motherfuckers. Fuck them all. Proceed.
There's a lot of people on here. There's, what is there, like over 6,000 people on this page right here. So I was hoping that maybe we could get some people on here. Is it popping people right out of here? It keeps on just dropping. Maybe people's not up right now or something. I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the things. My name is Todd Church. I woke up probably around 2014 or something like that. Actually, my brother, he died 2012. That's what made me start doing some extensive research about some of the things that I was finding out about the world that we really live in. It takes a traumatic situation for most people to be able to wake up to some of the things that are really going on in this world. And that's the sad part about it, and that's why most people don't wake up and see what's really going on, because they're so busy having to stay at their jobs, or taking care of their children, or staying up with everybody else, keeping up with the materialistic world, and relationships and family and things like that. Everything is to keep you so occupied to where you don't really ever realize what's actually happening in this world. And also, depending on the areas that you grow up in and stuff, how much harder it is for you to be able to wake up. Because if you're working in a regular scheduled program of a job, of a 9-to-5 job that is always some type of a schedule, going to church, going to family gatherings, and working with people, you're going to have these same conversations over and over again with everyone that you're around. So you're never really going to wake up to anything that's really going on in the world neither. But after my brother died, I wanted to find out how the drugs was getting here. I wanted to know about the hospitals. He had an addiction to these pills and the Percocets. So I wanted to know what was going on with those things, you know. And I grew up in the lower class area, in the streets and shit like that. And so I seen a lot of people that was dying from the drugs and dying from these pills and heroin and crack and all of these other things. And I've seen a lot of criminal activities, and I was involved in a lot of criminal activities in my own life. Grew up on welfare, charity newsies, and public schooling system. So I grew up around all different colors and races of people. And I was friends with all types of people. I was loving the R&B. My apologies, you guys. My apologies. So anyways, going through a certain type, and also this is something else too. When you grow up in the ghetto and in the lower class areas, I think that you have a lot more experiences with other people about seeing the pains and the problems that these people go through, because it doesn't matter what color you are, white, black, whatever fucking color you are, you're going through rough shit because you're living in the lower class areas. You're usually on welfare. Your mother is usually involved in some type of maybe a bartender job or a dancing job or some kind of a job that is usually something that focuses mainly on that woman. You're going through situations with different...
Todd, you're such a fucking, you're such a fucking dude, you know? You're such a fucking dude. And you know, this is the shit, you know, they sit there and they know how to fucking paint people of color. But they want to, that's the thing is, they want to draft themselves in these last seconds. Bitch, where were you before all this, everything stopped? Now you want to speak on the behalf of color people. Where were you before the world stopped? See, that's where motherfuckers got this fucked up. You know where they was? They were living their best motherfucking white privilege lives. Chasing some fucking illusion. A boogeyman called Q. You know? Fucking hating Democrats. And you know something? I can't stress this enough. White Democrats and white Republicans are the same fucking thing. And listen, you don't have to censor my video. If you don't like what I'm saying, get the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to sit around here like a bitch and censor my motherfucking video. Why don't you get fucking lost? I don't give a fuck if your girl's a hunky. I don't care if your man is a hunky. Get the fuck on, bitch. You know why? Because there's people like you that need, you know what? A fucking asteroid need to fall on y'all. I swear, that's my prayer. You love your master. You love your hunky. Fuck you. Period. You gonna sit there and report what? You can't take the heat. Get the fuck out the kitchen. That's the problem with y'all. Censoring ass bitches. Always trying to censor somebody. Always trying to shut. Do you not know that that's why y'all finna be with your doors banged the fuck in? Because you always trying to shut somebody up. And oh damn. Remember me telling you this. Remember me telling you this. You want people that are going to bow down to your narrative. That's the only time we're good, right? You want people to love your white Trump. Fuck you. Fuck you. And when that bitch ass nigga come and send martial law inside your house, bitch, I want to see where your energy is. You be screaming like a little bitch. Period. You ain't got nothing better else to do. If you don't like what I'm saying, then you don't have to listen to me. On that note, get the fuck on. Period. Simple. But you feel like you got the power because you're triggered. What are you triggered about? Huh, you low vibration ass bitch ass motherfucker? What are you triggered about? What? That you're hunky. Maybe you got a hunky chick. Maybe you got a hunky dude. It didn't matter. That's the problem. And it is what it is. You're the prince of the air, the slaves. The slaves of the air. I call you the slaves of the air. You work for the prince of the air, you slaves. So you are. In your mind, low vibration. You going nowhere fast. And every time you try to censor somebody, they close in on you. On you. Every time you play this little head game and you think that you're gonna go and shut what down, they moving closer on you. On you. Y'all still don't get it. Jobs closed down. You got laid off. You waiting on universal income. And you still trying to shut people up. Damn it, you still didn't learn. You still didn't plead your case. Huh? Everything stopped. Except for you. You still going and going and going. Trying to censor me. Trying to shut me up. But I'll tell you what. Baby, you in for a rude awakening. Because you know what? Everything I'm saying is triggering your bitch ass. Period. Let's hear what Todd has to say. Todd, do you want to speak some more? Okay. Let's hear Todd.
Types of multiple stepfathers and stuff that will usually be the ones that are going to beat on and abuse you. And this is all set up on purpose. This is why welfare was set up. And this is why women's liberation was set up. And this is why you see and hear all these songs that are telling men to treat women like whores and telling women to treat men like they're just disposable items for their finances. This is all set up. Every part of our lives is set up. Every part of the movie, every part of the television shows, every part of the music industry. Everything is to make the culture of every person to be able to make us have the hobbies that we do and the choices that we have about being able to think that we're cool by living a certain type of a lifestyle that we live, so that we can go ahead and be the go-getter in any ways that we can, whether it is you being in the mid-class, upper class, or lower class, so that you can be the perfect slave that you need to be. Because even if you're a drug addict, you're still a slave because you're chasing the money to go and get these drugs. Even if you're a dope dealer, you're still a slave to them because they print the money out that makes you go and get this money. Even if you're a prostitute, same thing. Whoever's chasing the dollar bill that is printed out of thin air, you're a slave to the people. So it doesn't matter if you're the police.
Well, thank you, Todd. That's what you think of us. We're nothing but prostitutes, drug addicts, and slaves. You motherfucker. You know? Never mind to big up to the black people that had fucking Hispanic people that had great careers. You know? That's what you think of us, though. Fuck you, Todd. Fuck you, Todd. I work a fucking 2 jobs, Todd. 2 motherfucking jobs, Todd. Get the fuck on, bitch. He had nothing positive to say about us. Not a motherfucking thing. And you know what? That's what they do. They can't help it. It's in their genes. It's in their genes. It's genetic. Low class, high class, middle class. Get the fuck on. Get the fuck on. My daughter has a fucking degree in international business, motherfucker. And you know why? Because she went and she got it. Even though I told her, fuck this school system. I ain't gonna lie. This shit ain't nothing but indoctrination centers. Period. The second you born, you're collateral to the system. Period. Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. And everything, you became a collateral system ever since Federal Reserve. And then some. And then some. Because before Christopher Columbus came here and invaded, so that's why people need to go do their history. Go through your fucking history. If you don't know, if you don't have nothing else to do, go match up Bible scriptures. And I'm gonna tell you what, Bible scriptures with certain mountains will lead you to certain information. Certain places in the Bible, because we're in the promised land, they will never tell you this, will lead you to certain information. And I could prove that to you right now. I'm not just talking out my ass. See what I'm saying? You know what happened? I sit and I'm educating myself. You know, I'm educating myself, and I'll prove it to you. You know, matter of fact, let me put this stuff in the box so you have a better idea of what I'm talking about. let me put it in the box. Let me put it in the box. Oh, let me see something real quick too, real quick while I'm at it. You know, and I cannot stress this enough that, you know, that's the problem. You know, we think that we got this shit all down pat, but we don't. We really don't. And let me go ahead and get this stuff for you real quick, so you guys have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. You know, so let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna do this. Okay. Now these are words in the book, right? List of mountain peaks in North America. You're already in the promised land, okay? You can go in and you can come up with so much stuff with this, and then you go and you link this stuff to the Bible stuff, and I promise you, you're gonna come up with a lot of things like this. Okay, you will come up with a lot of and that's the problem. Folks want to censor people, but they don't want to learn, and it's not and it's not right, because I could be saving your life right now. I really could. You got one more time to plead your case before the Most High starts going mayhem. I'm telling you on y'all. You're dying from radiation. You're dying in your sleeps. All kinds of types of stuff. Okay? This right here, this is the 4 kingdoms that the Bible talks about. All you got to do is type in America, and you're going to learn history. 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 Period. History. Okay? Learn something instead of censoring people. Learn. Learn. If you read just a little bit. What this says here? The tyranny of the slavery problem of the historical mind has completely subordinated the problem of the expansion of the... Come on. Keep reading. Keep reading. Keep reading. Black people were already here, by the way, okay? It was only Christopher Columbus who came and invaded the Israelites. So everything you have ever learned, you can toss that shit. Period. You can toss that shit. And all you gotta do is go the 4 kings of Adulusa, whatever, and just type in America. That these are things in the Bible, okay? Don't take my word for it, okay? Don't take my word for it. See what I'm saying? Don't take my word for it. Okay? Let's be real. And this is what our goal is. And now, therefore, if you will hearken to my voice and guard my commandments, my statutes, and my Torah, then will I then will I cause your enemies to fall before you. This is our goal, y'all. This is our goal. And I will multiply your seed like the stars of heaven. And I will send my blessing upon all the works of your hands. You shall lack nothing, black people. Get it. Get it. It's yours. It is yours. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's yours. Claim it. You're no victim. These white people sit around here going, what are you? Have you been a victim? No, bitch, I'm victorious. But you, on the other hand, as a devil, roaming like a lion, seeking whom you may devour in their mind, because they're so privy, so privileged to certain education. You have been nothing but led astray. You've been taught the degrees that you needed to be a slave in. You will never find this information. And if you did, you would be so in denial, it will never make sense to you. This Bible is sealed to you. Everything you do is twisted. Everything you feel against God's chosen people will come back to haunt you. Period. Most of y'all think you got this game down packed. But let's hear some more of Todd.
Police officer. It doesn't matter if you're the doctor. It doesn't matter if you're building homes. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're chasing this money, you're using your time and your effort and everything to go and get this dollar bill. You are a slave to the system. So it doesn't matter what color you are. And everyone has always been a slave to this system. But they've just figured out new ways to be able to make the slave feel more free, because you're going to get more. You're going to get more out of a slave. You're going to get more out of a slave when the slave doesn't feel that they're a slave. And you'll be able to make these slaves fight each other and hurt each other and rob each other and kill each other. And then you'll make more money off of your prison industry that you're also making it a part of your corporation. So if you can make racism inside of your human farm, then you're going to be able to keep everyone angry and upset with each other instead of ever doing any research to try and figure.
Why didn't you ever come out in 2014 with this shit? You know? No, you milked this shit to this last second. You held on to this feelings up to now? Really, Todd? How am I supposed to take you serious, Todd? How? You could have did a whole lot more than this. Once upon a time. And this is what I'm talking about. You know, and this is more than just you saying these things. This is identifying God's chosen people. If you really want us to take you serious, identify God's chosen people. Period. Period. This is a strong message. I'm telling you, this is the strongest message you ever going to encounter in your life here on this earth before it perishes. If you want to be taken seriously, you have to acknowledge that God's chosen people are not the Anglo-Saxons, are not the Ashkenazis, are not the Ludovic Chabas, the Khazarian mobsters that worship the devil in the synagogue of Satan. Period. If you want people to take you serious in these last days, you have to cleave to the house of Israel. You have to let the sons and daughters that have the spirit, that are speaking in spirit and in truth, preach to you. If you want true salvation, you had one chance to get it right. And what they do? They did not care once upon a time, for a lifetime. Their ancestors have done some horrible things. And rather they say, oh, well, it was my ancestors. I didn't do nothing to you. You sure inherit that land. You sure inheriting, money that they kept in that family. Listen, the Most High is going to be dealing with folks as a whole. Just like the Most High is dealing with his own chosen people as a whole. If you think that the Most High did not deal with his people as a whole, everything you have ever watched was accordingly to the blessings and the curses. Because as a whole, God's chosen people did not want to take heed to the commandments, Lord's statutes. Okay? So everything they've been preaching to you is a freaking lie. So how many of you woke up, you want your Jesus and you want it now? You want your Mashiach that they talk about, because I will never disrespect the truth. So let me clarify that. I promise you I would never disrespect the truth. You know what I'm saying? But on that note, you know, my thing is why people are so fast to censor people. Why can you ever try to hear people out? When you censor people and you keep trying to deny shit, all you done is led yourself into a lockdown. Period. On a Sunday like this, you should be looking for the brothers that are preaching the spirit and in truth. Not these false indoctrinators. Not people that are worshiping white Jesus on the cross from a graven image. I don't care if it's a black Jesus or a white Jesus. You are not supposed to be worshiping any graven image for that matter. Let me rephrase that so we can have a better understanding, overstanding, understanding. Okay? So those of you who are loving your Easter, today will determine your Monday. I promise you. Because the Most High is not playing with you. So if you come across this video, it's not by mistake. And all it may trigger your stupid ass. But you know what? Take something and learn from it. Learn. You don't know everything. You may not like a person for your own personal agenda. But you know what? This person right here has sacrificed everything she ever had. I don't give a fuck about this earth. I really don't. You think I look forward to going back to work? Matter of fact, I'm still working. That's how good the Most High is. The Most High is going to bless His own. The Most High is going to... I know what it is to get up and still live like, you know, like I'm supposed to. You know? For those of you who are entrapped in your own body, in your own mind, the Most High wants you to plead your case. Plead your case. And you know something? I do not look forward to being a slave in the system any longer. I look forward to an asteroid hitting the earth. I look forward to being free from a government that tries to sell and make a profit off the Most High Yah's creation. I'm so sick and tired of it. I'm tired. And all you freaking slaves, all you do is entertain that. None of this stuff belongs to the government. The land, the earth, none of this. None of this belongs to the government. Not a damn thing. But they want to govern people like we're cattle. That's what they basically treat us like. We're slaves. We're cattle. Then we have the nerve to go and cattle God's creation. The Most High's creation. Animals, you know. Okay. Okay. Lock them in. Do you not even see that even the animals are running free? They so happy that beasts of the field are locked in the house. Animals are just roaming through the cities. I don't know where these animals are coming from. They're being set free. They're coming out. They're so happy. They're receiving the frequency because animals are different from humans. They're so happy that human evil people are locked down and they're getting ready to reap what they sowed. Yeah, if you look for Roman animals through the cities, they're reclaiming the earth because they so tired of human rotten ass beings too. Heathens, pagans, beasts of the field. I swear I can't make this stuff up. And you know what? I would show you a video, but for copy strike purposes, I'm not. Go look for it yourself. I'm not here to entertain anyone to make you feel good. You know, I don't want you to feel good. I want you to feel urgent. I want you to feel like this is your last second to get it right. If you're not already on your knees, if you're not crying, if you're not pleading your case with the Most High, expect nothing more than your what you got coming to you. Because if you led people into captivity, boy oh boy, you shall be led into captivity. That's just pretty much what it is, you know. All this talk, all this psyop shit. You know, you've been a psyop all the time. You've been a psyop. A slave ass psyop. Can you imagine that? Let's hear what else Ty got to say.
Figure out who's doing what to you. So these people have think tanks. So these people, and if you can really think back, like, and this is going to piss a lot of people off, but I'm not here to piss no one off. I got all kinds of black friends. I love them to death. I grew up in the streets. My motherfucking uncle and them, they used to call me Wigger because that's how I lived. I had braids in my hair. I had gold grill. I was always writing. I was out here selling dope. I was.
And that's how they think about us. They don't have nothing else better to say than what our lifestyles have been trapped to be. See? So they can claim to be this all they want, but that's how they really feel about us. No shame. They never have anything nice to say about the fuck us. You know? And that's the shit that frustrates me. They don't identify us as just, God's chosen people. They don't identify us that, it's time to cleave to the house of Israel. They just don't. Tell me that. Tell me if you want to sit down and hear somebody dog the community. And yes, that's what the community is. And I'm from the hood. I grew up in the hood. I was born and raised in the fucking hood. But damn. You know? Damn. And that's the shit that pisses me off. Like, we always be a stereotype, no matter fucking what. Damn. Go carry on, Todd. Tell me some more about my peoples.
I was running these streets. I was really doing shit, and I lived a certain way. So you get a certain type of
Now this is a white man saying this, okay? So you live like this because you didn't want to use your white privilege. I'm utterly confused. So carry on.
Attitude from certain people, especially in your family, if they're all about the rock and roll music or and it has to do with what you pick in your genres of your family, what you feel most comfortable about. Some people pick the countryside, country music and shit like that. So they'll watch certain movies that goes along with their country music because they're.
Oh, don't forget their white fence, their white pick fences, and their nice little fucking quiet side roads, Todd. Don't forget that.
Already being made, psychologically manipulated to feel a certain way about being country and the ways they're supposed to be acting. Same thing with anyone that is listening to rock and roll. You see their dress code, the ways that they'll dress, how they're acting, and what their attitudes are supposed to be towards black people or other people, anyone. Especially depending on what kind of rock and roll you're listening to, It's all these genres that are mixed up that also start making you watch certain television shows that you'll be most comfortable with because of your family that's being raised up in whatever the culture is. And you have to think about culture. It's a cult. They've made us all be involved in a cult. That's why it's called culture.
I don't think that's the case for black folks, though. I mean, black culture is what? Slavery, motherfucker? I'm just saying, though. Help me! Help me! I want to be helped. I want to really fucking dig in this brain of his. Like, help me. Because nowadays, everybody want to claim what? What are you claiming, motherfuckers? That's what I want to know. I mean, you got a lot of black people that want to. I mean, they made it out the hood. They got a fucking legit job, even if they're felons, and, they feel like they were white now. But that's not the case. Right? Carry on, Todd, because I'm utterly confused, boy.
Everything in the English language is witchcraft and spells, and it is also things that makes us do certain things because it's the things that we have been involved in that everyone is comfortable being involved in because of the ways that we've been taught and trained. It's destructive for sure, most definitely. Hello, Jonathan. Hello, Toya. And hello, Keith. I love you all. 5 major families rule over us. And, the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs, Morgan and Freeman, Rockefellers, is what they tell us. But how do we know? I think that who really runs this world is probably somebody that we'll never even know who they really are.
Bitch is called a 1%. And there's that round table they sit around. All bloodlines, okay? So if you're trying to preach to me or to certain, we know these things, motherfucker. We know these things. We know that it's the powers that should not be the powers of evil. So no matter how they try to slice it and dice it, I think it's hilarious. They talk down to us like we're little fucking puppies. If you don't get the fuck on, Joan. Who is Rothschild? I know who's Rothschild. Rothschilds who stole an identity, who owns the industry, who they fucking pretty much bought all the banks. They are Federal Reserve. They are, these motherfuckers sit around and they've done their homework with Cuba. They never got to the point. Period. You watch Hitler, they just hate Hitler. You know? What was Hitler saying? Like, go find the definition of what Hitler was saying. Hitler said he will start World War III from his grave to know that what he was fighting was Freemasonries and these motherfucking Ashkenazis. And that's why he wanted to exterminate the whole white. He hated his own kind. He wanted to kill them all. And I get it. I get it. To them, he's a psycho. To them, he's this, he's that, But to me, shit, had he just exterminated half of the earth of those motherfuckers, just a little bit longer, I mean, like, I swear I can't make this shit up. And they'll tell you what they want to. They'll tell you it was the Holocaust. They won't tell you that these people did not want to be fucking, they were anti-Semitic, right? That was the first project they have ever experienced. That was the tracking devices. They were taking children away from the mothers. That was their first. That's what they finna do here. Another Holocaust, motherfuckers. Tracking devices. Throw your ass to concentration camps. If you want to know your ending, just go watch World War II. Go watch what they've done to their own motherfucking people. You think they give a fuck about us? Period. I swear I can't make this shit up. You know what I'm saying? What did they come up with? MK Control, paperclip in World War II days. Hello? Is anybody fucking there in your brains? Who is the 1%? Well, look no further, look no further than the Bilderbergs. 1% that have control all the banking systems, that control all the money. Period. And at this point, if the economy crashes, and you motherfuckers are just sitting around, cutting your toenails, acting like it ain't gonna, something crazy ain't gonna happen. You got another thing coming. If you think that you're gonna go back to work, you have another thing coming. That's why I said, plead your case with the Most High. Pray for forgiveness. Stop leading folks astray, man. Every time you do a video, you will be held accountable for that shit. If you're not speaking in spirit and in truth, if you out here loving the powers that be, I don't care if it's Trump, I don't care if it's Pelosi, they all one, man. They are all one. They're nothing but actors and actresses. All this for superpower. They're always hungry. They could never get enough. And now they want to turn you into transhumanism. What the fuck is transhumanism? The end of humanity. They have their chips. Ask Bill Gates. Talking about if you, in order to go back to work, in order to be a part of the system, you have to have a certificate, a chip, a vaccine certificate with a digital way of life in order to enter back into this field. Who the fuck wants to go back to something like that? Life will never be the same, motherfuckers. Life will never be the same. And it's more than mayhem, motherfuckers. It's you better die. You better be ready to die for your soul. Fight for your soul. Because they're not gonna have no problem with grabbing you out your house and snatching you up and enforcing this shit. You ain't see culture yet, motherfuckers. You ain't see zombies yet. You about to be DID. Period. You about to be snatched out your motherfucking houses in the middle of the night. You ain't see mayhem. You ain't see war. You didn't see civil war yet. You know, they feeding, they cooking y'all motherfuckers like frogs. Period. You know, they're not gonna do this shit all at once because they know people still have guns. People still, they know. They know. So they gotta cook you like little frogs that we are. And, you know, and let me tell you something, white people. You cannot be mad at black people for speaking truth. Because your truth of way of trying to teach black people, the way this man is talking down to us like little puppies, is never going to be the case. So you can't even get mad. And I don't care if your children are black. I don't care if you white with a black child. I don't care. I don't care. You will never even get to experience with that child. That even if you create a half black child, you will never get to experience what this child had to endure. So I don't even know why black people and white people make children. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I don't care if your mother's white. I don't care. Bitch, you are what you look like. You're going to be criticized and framed for what you look like. Period. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. If you don't fit in, you just don't fit in. At the end of the day, motherfuckers know who you are because they know your history better than you. You know what I'm saying? They know Puerto Rican people are black. They know all Latins are black. This is a fucking illusion. They colonize the whole earth. Now they want to colonize the moon. They want to colonize Mars. All they need is water. These motherfuckers are insane. Then they have fully established their goal. They have the earth, they have the moon, they voila, wakala. And that's why the Most High finna destroy these people. They're not even people, they're beasts of the field. They're not even people. That's why I'm so glad that I'm my father's seed. That's why I'm able to detect this knowledge. That's why I'm so blessed. Because at the end of the day, you know, as a strangers, you know, they have trouble giving up their superiority. You know, they really do. You know, but now they're realizing that they're locked down. You know, they stuck in the house. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. You're under supervision. They're stuck in the house. What are you going to do? What are you going to do now? There's only two things you can do. Fight or die. Fuck out of here, motherfuckers. Fight or die hard trying. Fuck out of here. And I don't care who likes this, who don't like this. I'm not here to satisfy your fucking itching ears. I'm not here to tell you shit that you're gonna like. I'm here to shake your ass off. And while I do so, I must shake my haters off of me. Because you know what? There's a lot of motherfucking lurking ass motherfuckers that think they're gonna come and be what? Bitch, your ass is you're gonna bow down on your face and your knees when that sky cracks, bitch, you be crying. So stop censoring people. Stop trying to, because the Most High ain't pleased with people like y'all. Stop bullying. You know, right now we're in a time and days where chariots are scanning you doubles, you know? Scanning what you have in your house, how you live, your heart, your DNA. I don't care what anybody says. You know what I'm saying? You're being scanned. Period. I know you may not know it, but you the one that look, you lack knowledge. That's your business. So let's hear one more time what Todd has to say before I get so nauseous that I have to throw up.
I think these are just the faces. But we'll get back to what I'm talking about. And thank you guys for commenting. I love you. And this is my first time on here. I just woke up, so I was like, you know what? I seen they just accepted my request, and I seen the beautiful woman on here with the husband, and congratulations, no disrespect, but she was talking about anyone has ever heard of the secret meeting that changed rap, but it's a part of the ways that they change the future generations of youth to be able to fill up private prisons through gangster rap music. And I remember when this stuff was happening because I'm 44 years old, so I was growing up in this shit. So when I was a young kid and I started seeing this shit as a teenager,
Motherfuckers my age. And I trust me, he is rubbing me the wrong way. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, okay?
I loved that shit. I was going through certain things as a young child because I know this myself personally. I would watch TV shows and I would see people around me, and I would think about who I was and where I come from and how I am going to become someone that is going to be cool or likable. Um, Growing up with a single mother, my mom was a dancer, and then there was me and my brothers, you know, and at that time it was me, my brother Jason, and my brother Joey and Josh. Yeah. We went to foster homes. We was broke up. We got back together. My mom got us back out of the foster homes and shit. We grew up with different multiple stepfathers that beat on us, beat on my mom. So I seen a lot of crazy shit growing up my whole life in other people's homes and everything. So I would always want to try and be the best that I could be for whatever it was in my environment, to be able to be the most likable. But I also got involved in being a criminal and fighting all the time and stuff like that, because after you start going through the abuse, now you have these anger issues and stuff, and this is also something that is being set up by this government to be able to break down the function of the family home, to be able to make sure that these women chase the bad boys, to be able to make sure that these men that are coming in the homes are abusive towards the family, so that when these children do grow up, they really don't know how to love a certain way, or they only know how to fight and survive and how to be angry and want to be some type of a warrior, whether it is a street dealer or a criminal, or whether it is an army or military man or woman, to be able to be used to go and take over the resources across these other nations or countries, to be able to bring the resources back here or make all of the other.
That's all they ever did. They rape, steal, kill, and destroy. I'm done listening to this motherfucker. Like I really am, you know. Just turns my stomach. You know, when they identify and they try to fit in, that's when you see their true colors of how they really feel about us. And you know, I just can't stomach it any longer. Like it's mind blowing. It's like, damn, you know. You know, they will say anything at this time and days, you know, to fit in, to blend in, because they still need that other half, you know. They want us to be one now, to conquer the government. That's their fucking goal, you know. But that's not the plan of the Most High, you know. That's not the plan of the Most High. It really isn't. And if you guys feel like that, go and conquer the government on your own. Because you have the guns. You love your First and Second Amendment. It has been infringed upon you like nobody's business in the name of anti-Semitic. Go do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Because honestly, they're doing two different tactics. They doing two different tactics. They doing what they doing to the community, the black and Hispanic communities, and they doing what they doing with the white communities. Right now, all white people, Trump 2020, they love him, they this, they that. Then you have the psychopaths, the Nancy Pelosi motherfuckers. I mean, like, it's too much. It's too much. You know? It's too fucking much, you know. And I don't got time to be loving my master. I really don't, because ain't nobody fucking my master, you know. I'm not finna love and fight for my enemy. Love your enemy, pray for your enemy bullshit days are gone. Over. Okay. So the tactics, that they feel like they have to work extra hard in these black fucking groups right now. They'll say anything, talk anything, and act like it's sincere. It's not genuine. It's very ingenuine. It's not even their reality. You know, although we listen, this is what they do as a tactic. They play on your fucking emotions. This is proof of how motherfucking so many congressmen and women have got elected. Cause this is what they do in the black communities. They sound just like this motherfucker right here. Can't make this shit up. I really can't. And with that being said, stop falling for everything, motherfuckers. Stand for something. Take a stand for something. Damn. Take a motherfucking stand for something. Stop falling for everything.
For the first time in U.S. history, every state is under a federal disaster declaration due to the coronavirus. At the same time, President Trump wants to get America back to business, but the cost could be high. Nicole Killian is at the White House.
The metrics right here. That's my metrics.
President Trump says he plans to listen to all sides when he launches a new task force next week focused on restarting the economy.
And I only hope to God that it's the right decision. But I would say without question, it's the biggest decision I've ever had to make.
The president's top health experts continue to urge caution.
This is not the time that we need to be pulling back at all.
And it didn't take long for others to weigh in.
You can't ask the people of this state or this country to choose between lives lost and dollars gained. No one is going to make that quid pro quo.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo.
This bitch right here, you know, they know very well what they doing as the powers that be. Whether it's the lowers, the uppers, the higher ups. Sometimes the higher ups have to, you know, the higher ups have they call shots and they have to do what they do. And then they have them fighting amongst each other. And then, you know, it's all a fucking act. So they like, oh, trying to make it seem like, oh, he just wants to start the economy. People are dying. No, motherfuckers, you motherfuckers are killing people on purpose with your 5G fucking radiation. Not to mention, you know what? You're doing your job, but it is also a plague. It is a plague amongst wicked ass people. The Most High is cleaning this land off, and I get it. That's why I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. So, the more people behave a certain way, now you could be a fearmonger, you could be a fighter, you could be a warrior, you could be whatever you want in these last seconds. Okay? But that still does not determine what you have done all your life. If you do not repent, turn from your wicked ways, and acknowledge the Most High Yah, he who blesses Israel shall be blessed. All y'all did was you never blessed Israel. You cursed black people. You treated black people like shit. You didn't care. You know, you took the Bible. You transgressed the laws. That's what it's all about. You transgressed the laws. You passed laws in our sleep. You voted for these motherfuckers. You are the problem. Period. And now, what you gave them? A one-word government, one-word currency, one-word religion. They couldn't have done this shit without you. Good job. Good motherfucking job. Period. And then you got this nasty-ass Pope. You know, and these thirsty-ass people, they are fighting for that religion. They want their Jesus on the cross, and they want it now. You got the Mashiach calling, they want their Mashiach, and they want it now. They want their white Mashiach. They want that shit. You know, they'll sit there and they do. You know, they're celebrating their you know, their Passover. The Passover was last week. Full moon, Sabbath, everything. Like, you know, the way they do things is totally different. You know, even to worship on a Sabbath, on a Saturday or Sunday, that is not even possible. And the only way you can keep your Sabbath is by a moon, a new moon. So, with that being said, April 22nd, go outside and cry. and cry. And cry. If we even make it that far. And cry. And cry every day until a full moon. And then keep your Sabbath and pray. And keep your Sabbath and pray. Keep your Sabbath and pray on a full moon. That is a Sabbath. Stay home. Don't cook. Just pray. Just cry and pray. See? These are the things that we need to do. To make it, well, we got to make it. Period.
The sky, it was like a dark sky, like nighttime, and all I see is like a bunch of meteors just passing the earth, and it was like millions of them, and like it just looked so pretty because like all of these lights, but it was the meteors.
Like a white circle that split in between the skies. And everybody was like, what is that? What is that? So many questions and so much fear run into people because they didn't know what was going on. All of a sudden, it was like a black earth, like something round, like black, and it came and it was moving over the white light.
And so I'm sitting there and I hear this noise in the sky, and it's literally like a trumpet, and it's so loud, and in an instant, like in the sky, there's this huge reddish orange circle thing, and it looks almost like the sun, but it's so much bigger than the sun, and it's not as bright, so you can actually look at it. And it was huge, and I was sitting there, and I was like, what is that?
The front area of the house where she lives in a townhouse, so there's a big circle with a lamppost in the middle.
The sky, it was like a dark sky, like nighttime, and all I see is like a bunch of meteors just passing the earth, and it was like millions of them, and like it just looked so pretty because like all of these lights, but it was the meteors.
Like a white circle that split in between the skies. And everybody was like, what is that? What is that? So many questions and so much fear run into people because they didn't know what was going on. All of a sudden, it was like a black earth, like something round, like black, and it came and it was moving over the white light.
And so I'm sitting there, and I hear this noise in the sky, and it's literally like a trumpet, and it's so loud, and in an instant, like in the sky, there's this huge reddish orange circle thing, and it looks almost like the sun, but it's so much bigger than the sun, and it's not as bright, so you can actually look at it. And it was huge, and I was sitting there, and I was like, what is that?
The front area of the house where she lives in a townhouse, so there's a big circle with a lamppost in the middle, and there's grass in the middle. All of that was covered in ash, volcanic ash that was raining down from the sky, and it was coming from all directions. And this girl came up from behind us and said, "Why does it stink?" And the rain smelled so bad, and I was like, I sniffed, and I turned around to this girl. I didn't even know her. I said, that's sulfuric acid. It's coming from the sky.
The car that was coming from the right, and it ended up wrecking, and it was like red fire stones coming down, from the skies. And so we end up pulling the car over and getting out of the car. And then as we were standing over to the side, it was like I was pulled up backwards.
I look out the window, and all of a sudden I saw a whole bunch of lights, and they were very bright lights, and I at first thought they were UFOs because that just looked like what they were to me. And they start speeding at us at a really, really fast speed. It was so fast, I didn't have time to turn around and tell the rest of the family, hey guys, look, they're UFOs. I saw my niece because she was in front of me when I turned out to look outside the window. But they start coming, and the closer that they got, they changed color. So it started out with a bright white light, kind of like the window, and then all of a sudden it turned into a whole bunch of orange, red, pink, like a bunch of sparks and a big ball, kind of like a fireball, really fast. It was beautiful, and I wasn't afraid. Like, for some reason I knew it wasn't a bad thing, and it just picked me up, like hit me in the chest and just shot me up really, really, really fast.
There was nothing but chaos and fear. I could see off in the distance planes crashing out of the sky.
I had like a friend, and her mom was driving the plane with me, and we were about to crash into this empty field.
And everywhere was huge meteorites falling and crashing into the earth, into houses, into buildings, into churches, into schools. There were people running and fleeing for their lives. There were car accidents upon car accidents, and death was everywhere.
I was wandering around asking if anybody knows Jesus. And I was just preaching the gospel, I believe. And I was asking if anyone knew Jesus. And people came to me and they were all like, stop talking about Jesus. You shouldn't talk about Jesus here. You're not supposed to. Nobody knows who Jesus is. And that really discouraged me. It really broke my heart. And I kept trying to seek and find someone who needs Jesus. And then this one guy, he came up to me and he told me if I spoke about Jesus again, then he will kill me and I will be put to death.
Period. And what I want to stress right now is, I did have one of those dreams as well. And I want to talk about that before I log out. So, approximately 8 months ago, I had a dream like that, with falling fire from the sky. And it was coming down slow, very slow. And people were just living their lives, carrying on like as if nothing never happened. They were still, cooking, doing barbecues, and I'm walking past all these houses. And I'm like, why isn't everyone realizing that the fire is coming down? It's coming down. Why? And I'm looking for my daughter in the dream. She was a little itty bitty baby. And finally I found her. She was 2 years old in the dream. She's literally 26 right now. She goes, Mommy, the spirit said the end of the earth is here. The world is over. It's over. So I took her and I walked out, and I'm walking and I could hear this voice talking to me. Those who will be covered will be covered. And those who will not will be destroyed. Period. And that was just one dream. And I had another dream that I woke up to the audio because I do listen to the word. I woke up to Ezekiel when it was talking about the chariots. But in the process of that dream, I was having a dream that I was in a different entity. It was dark, and what was on the other side of the entity was, they warned me. They said, get out the way, move. We want you to just move. We're going to start throwing stuff. Okay? So, in this dream, as I'm trying to find, you see soldiers in the dark just moving in on the earth. And they start shooting these red, big fireballs. Okay? So, from the other dream, when I woke up with the fire dropping, I cried for 1 whole week. Okay? When I got up and I looked out the window, I cried. I huffed and I puffed because I said, oh my God, it was just a dream, but it was so real. So for those of you who think that your body cannot leave, your spirit cannot leave your body, you think that your spirit is, belongs to this body, that's not the case. So we have to fear the Most High. We have to work on our salvation in fear and trembling. And I say this, I said all that in this video to say this. Get right, and get right now, this second. Because tomorrow, the next second isn't promised. And when the Most High gets ready, I don't care how many calendars they came up with, paganistics, they done transgressed the laws, they done trying to switch time, they try to change the seasons. The Most High knows when the Most High is coming. And I don't care how much these powers that should not be, the powers of evil, the son of perdition, because that's what they are, sons and daughters of perdition that have been revealed. They sat up in the temples, and they used this, Satan, and his minions had exalted himself way too long. The gig is up. And the Most High is not playing with anyone. So I strongly advise, if you have too much pride, now will be the time to let it go. Now will be the time to stop and repent and cry out. I don't care. I don't care what color you are. If you are evil, you repent. You acknowledge that the Most High Yah is the only God. Not even God, the Most High, the only power, the Lord. There's none else. I don't care Buddha, Muhammad. I don't care the Satan of synagogue. They're nothing compared to what the Most High is. And let me tell you, all kings are rising up against the Lord. And Zechariah tells you that right here. Zechariah tells you 14:4. On that day, his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives, east of Jerusalem. And the Mount of Olives will split in two from east to west, forming a great valley with half of a mountain moving north and half moving south. And now where we at, we are in the promised land. They've lied. They told you, they made up this crazy illusion. Everyone's looking to the Middle East. Everyone's believing that that's what's really happening. But you're currently in the promised land if you're in the state of the Americas, the islands of the sea. Read your Bible. Okay? Read your Bible, and I highly recommend that every word for word in there, go look it up, and go and look up the Jordan River in America. It'll take you to Utah. It'll take you the divine building of the Grand Canyon. There's so many things in America that prove that we are in the promised land. Okay? And they came here and they stole this from God's chosen people. When they came here, 1766. They've been doing the most ever since. Okay? And they've been dealing with the southern tribe and the northern tribe. That's what these times are literally all about. Because you don't hear nothing before that. Nothing before that. They took the books, they burned them, the Romans, they destroyed the real black people, Jews. Not even Jews, the real Hebrews, if you will. Because I'm sick and tired of calling them. You know, Jews is a terminology of Yiddish. Yiddish and Jews, and the letter J was not even in the alphabets of Arabic, if you will. So everything that you have ever learned, you have to scratch that and re-educate yourself. Self-taught is the best. So while you in quarantine, instead of trying to convince people to be on the same side as you, why don't you go work on your salvation in fear and trembling? You know, and I'm not worrying about who's still dreaming about being team this, team that, about the black this, the black that. Listen, the Most High is coming with his reparations for his Zion. You better believe that. And they hate that. That's everyone knows this, except for the people that need to know this. Okay? So with that being said, thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Share this dope ass video. You know? And it is what it is. If I hit a nerve, oh well, I'm glad I've done my job.